Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am so thrilled to be welcoming you to this mission members meeting being hosted by Mount Carmel Guild. It is a fantastic time for us to be meeting indeed, because of course, when we see the global situation having to do with the need that exists within various spaces, we understand that the mission of Mount Carmel Guild and certainly many other organizations who do much of what we do remains relevant. My name is Darren Miller. I'm the Director of External Affairs with Mount Carmel Guild. And of course, before we move any further, let me acknowledge some key persons who are participating in this morning's events. We have with us our corporate board, or some members of our corporate board. And if they're not here, I'd still like to acknowledge them in absentia. Certainly, the Most Reverend David M. O'Connell. He's the Bishop of Trenton. We have Reverend Monsignor Thomas Gervasio, the Vicar General of the Diocese of Trenton. Terry A. Gito, and other persons, including the Bishop's designate, Brenda L. Rasher. We also would like to acknowledge our Board of Trustees. It consists of such persons as Jane, who is our chair, Barry Breen, I saw him joining us earlier, Susan Evans, our secretary, Brian James Duff, among others. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our executive director, Mary Inkrot, and also our director of the community support program, Deacon Richard Ferreira. I want to specially acknowledge our mayor, who is joining us for the very first time this morning. The mayor will be delivering our keynote address. His name, as you would know, is Reed Gosiora. He will be with us this afternoon, and we're so excited to be hearing from him, especially as we are coming to you, ladies and gentlemen, under the theme, The Way Forward, Support for Vulnerable Communities. Mount Carmel Guild continues to be a lead agent in social development, ensuring that persons are provided with the necessary care and support vulnerable communities, certainly within Trenton and wider Mercer County. We are serious about ensuring that we are able to provide this kind of support, and through you, our mission members, we continue to be able to do that. And this meeting gives us an opportunity to really assess the opportunities that we have, the successes that we have made, and certainly where it is that we would want to take the organization as we continue to offer support. I will not go any further, except now to invite with his presentation, the bishop, who will also be presenting prayer, who will be leading us in prayer this morning. So allow us, I would like for you also to acknowledge the fact that there are opportunities for you to applaud virtually. Use the emoticons that are there with you. There are some reaction buttons that you can also use. We invite you to make use of them. We will not necessarily hear your applause, but of course we will see your reaction. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the bishop.
Where is it? What happened?
When I think about serving the poor, the elderly, and those in need in Mercer County, my thoughts turn right away to the Mount Carmel Guild. For over 100 years, the Guild has answered their basic needs as it continues in our day to operate its two core programs, home health nursing, aiding older individuals. When I think about serving the poor, the elderly, and those in need in Mercer County, my thoughts turn right away to the Mount Carmel Guild. For over 100 years, the Guild has answered their basic needs as it continues in our day to operate its two core programs, home health nursing, aiding older individuals, and the community support program, providing emergency food. And when I think about serving the poor, the elderly, and those in need in Mercer County, my thoughts turn right away to the Mount Carmel Guild. For over 100 years, the Guild has answered their basic needs as it continues in our day to operate its two core programs: home health nursing, aiding older individuals, and the Community Support Program, providing emergency food and limited emergency prescription assistance and utility assistance to prevent homelessness. The current mission statement of the Mount Carmel Guild reads, "Through relationships and collaborations forged with dignity and hope, the Guild assists the community to overcome challenges to decent health, nutrition, housing, and education." As Bishop of the Diocese of Trenton, I'm happy to greet you this afternoon, the mission members of the Mount Carmel Guild. Your incredible support means everything to the Guild, and I want to express my deepest gratitude to you. I can't imagine the Guild's fulfilling its amazing mission without you. Under the leadership of Mary Inkrot and her staff, along with the board, your service to those in need changes lives for the better. What could be more satisfying than that? Thank you all, and may God bless you. And now let us pray. Direct, O Lord, our actions by your holy inspirations, and carry them on through your gracious assistance, so that every prayer and work of ours may begin always through you, and through you be successfully ended. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
We thank the bishop for his very kind words and also for his spur. At this time, let us also invite Mary Inkrot, who will be coming forward with the official welcome this morning. Over to you, Mary.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being at our mission members meeting. I just want to say how grateful I am to the bishop. He's an amazing supporter of the Guild, and his prayers, his support, and his guidance always means so much to us. Thank you, everyone, again for coming to us. We have wonderful mission members, some very special guests. The mayor, very excited to have him here. We do this virtually, but next up is a video that will help bring to life what happens here at the Guild pretty much every day. Darren, are you ready? No, he's muted. Hopefully our tech looks good.
Since 1941, when Bishop Thomas J. Walsh founded the property at 73 North Clinton Avenue, Mount Carmel Guild, the organization has remained a vision of hope and dignity for many throughout Trenton and wider Mercer County. The provision of food, clothing, assistance with utility, and other housing expenses help limit food insecurity and support a better quality of life for individuals and families in need. Its holistic approach to community acknowledges also the need for elderly care, and in 1941, an in-home nursing facility, now accredited by the National Institute for Home Care Accreditation, was formed. The program helps low-income residents, 60 years and older, age in the privacy and comfort of their own homes, while saving on some living expenses. The support of our registered nurses who perform medication monitoring, blood pressure checks, anticoagulant blood testing, and other duties are celebrated as we advance the independence, dignity, and choice of patients. This is our mission. We stand on the shoulders of faithful donors, volunteers, staff, and supporters whose professional approach and genuine care inspires confidence and brings joy to hundreds who rely on our services each year. This is your Mount Carmel Guild, enhancing the lives of those in need, body, mind, and spirit.
That was a fantastic overview of what happens at the Guild. You saw some amazing donations of food. You saw some amazing volunteers on our staff working hard to get it to our care receivers. And you also saw some of the joy we experience in giving. We have some very fun days with our care receivers at the Guild. And I invite you anytime to come and help us out during our food pantry operations, which are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 11:30. And we also have Wednesday afternoons, 1 to 3. Our nursing program we'll hear more about later, but we have some very, very special patients, a couple that are going to be sharing their experiences with our program. I think my PowerPoint is coming up in just a moment, and I will then be able to give you a little bit about the impact we have made in the last 12 months. Looks good. This looks good. Thank you, Darren. Our first slide just reminds you that we are a mission-based organization, a nonprofit that started 103 years ago by people of Trenton to help the people of Trenton. And we certainly do continue to do that today for 103 years, but Trenton as well as people living throughout Mercer County. Next slide, please. I like to explain to people that yes, we are a wonderful charity, but we're also a business. In 1973, we were incorporated, and I would like to further acknowledge some of the important people that help make the business side happen for the Guild, and that includes our corporate board. We heard from the bishop, who is the head of our board, but he's also joined by the Vicar General, Monsignor Gervasio, a wonderful Guild supporter, as is everyone, Terry Ginther, the Chancellor, myself as Executive Director, Brenda Rasher as the Executive Director of Social Services for the Diocese of Trenton, and of course, the CFO, Kevin Simay. They're the top board for us, but we also have our working board, and many of those members are with us today, and I thank you. Everyone is a volunteer, and they work very, very hard for us, so I would like to acknowledge them today. First off is our chair, Jane Chernellick, our vice chair, Barry, I believe he's with us, Sue, our secretary, Sue Evans, sorry, Brian Duff, our treasurer, and our trustees, Michael Herbert, Ellie Ingbranson, Sister Pat McGinley, Joe Matinsky, Terry Alexa, John Tattery, and also we're very fortunate to have our bishop's delegate then, Brenda Rasher. With these boards comes some standing committees who do a lot of the work behind the scenes for us. So I would like to acknowledge these board committees and also point out that they also include people who are not members of the board. So if one of these appeals to you or you have expertise in that area, we really invite you to reach out to us and see about becoming a member of one of our committees. We have our executive committee, which of course is our officers along with the bishop's delegate, our finance committee, our nominating committee, our buildings and grounds, our personnel, our development, and our marketing and communications. We have one very important subcommittee, our gala committee, who works on our annual fundraising event every year, starts in January and finishes in November, so they get just a few months break, and our professional advisory committee, who provides valuable expertise for us. Next slide. I would like to mention my paid staff who are here working full-time and part-time for us to make all the things happen in the food pantry and to take care of our patients in our nursing program. The administrative team includes myself, as well as our Director of External Affairs, Darren Miller, our bookkeeper, Pam Masiello, and our support staff member, Carmen Vega. Our home health nursing programs has 2 staff members right now, our director, Corinne Janaska, and our part-time nurse, Gina Breath. We are currently though advertising for a nurse, so if anyone knows a nurse who has home health care experience that would like to work part-time for us, please reach out. And also we have our community support program, head by Deacon Richard Ferreira, and he is joined by our lead caseworker, Crystal Brown, our other caseworker, Teresa Stallone, and our support staff member, Sean Robinson. Many of you may not be aware that for several years now, we have had a cooperative agreement with Catholic Charities Diocese of Trenton. We jointly run our food pantry, and through them, we have 2 additional staff members, Miriam Sanchez and Rich Williams. We couldn't do any of this without our paid staff, as well as the wonderful unpaid staff of our volunteers. Next slide, that's good. So we have 2 main programs, our community support program, which supports individuals and families in need. We are primarily known for our food pantry, but we also do homeless prevention services by helping people who have shut-off notices for their utility bills or eviction notices for their rental apartment. So those are 2 of the things. You'll be hearing more in detail when Richard Ferreira presents later on in our meeting today. But our next slide just has a few highlights from the last year. In 2022, we had over 18,000 household visits, averaging 80 households a day. Households are welcome to visit our food pantry once a week. It's interesting that we have approximately 3 in 5 of our households are Spanish speaking. This has changed dramatically in the last year. It used to be more like 20%. But we are grateful that we have some Spanish speaking staff that are able to help communicate and bridge any barriers and help connect our care receivers to other additional services. For about a year now, we've gotten really modern and using a scheduling app. It's great for volunteers, so you can go on to our website and see if there's any openings on days you might be able to help out of the food pantry. But it's also showed us that it's a great way to communicate with our care receivers. Almost all of them are able to receive text messages, and we use them to remind them about special programs that we're holding in the food pantry. And I'm proud that our food pantry is the oldest serving food pantry in Trenton that's open 5 days a week. We're open Monday through Friday every morning, and then also on Wednesday afternoons. Next slide. Our home health nursing program is a wonderful program that helps seniors living throughout Mercer County, not just Trenton, but in all the municipalities, to age in place in their own home. We'll hear more through our director, Corinne Janoska, later about this, but this is truly, truly a very, very special program that, next slide, has really made a difference in the lives of a lot of seniors in our community. We're proud that we're accredited by the National Institute for Home Care Accreditation. Last year was our reaccreditation year, so we spent a lot of time reviewing our policies and our services to make sure we are keeping current and doing everything possible we can to help our patients age in place. Nurses are doing more than just checking blood pressure and helping with the management of medication, though those are key parts of aging in place, but they do safety checks. They're always looking for food insecurity, any signs of elder abuse, help with isolation, connecting people for rides, and also just being responsive as new needs arise. Recently, we started a glucose monitoring system help for people. We have a patient who needs to wear this device. It needs to be changed every 2 weeks. He has Parkinson's, and this is a very difficult thing for him to do. So we're very glad that our program can adapt and add this new service in when we see a need arises. In 2022, we had 34 patients and had an average or had 551 units of care, which is a visit by the nurse in the home for up to 45 minutes. But on that note, I would like to point out that our program is more than just about the nurse visiting the home. So much happens behind the scenes. There's a lot of coordination going on with each patient's families, their doctors, their social workers, and their pharmacy to help make sure all the pieces are in place so they can age at home as long as possible. And that's one of our key performance measures, is how long a patient remains in our program. And last year we had 44% of our patients that have been able to use our services, stay safely at home for over 4 years. I think we have one that's even been 9 years now. So that's real success for us. Next slide. Now I'm just going to highlight some of the things that have been happening at the Guild over the last year. I'm going to start with July, and in the middle you see Josiah Fuller, and she is a participant. We're happy that we are part of the Mayor's Summer Youth Employment Program. This is the 4th year we've had a Trenton youth come and join our food pantry team for the summer. And one of her key things she works on is our Summer Feeding Families program. This is a special food program that we had a little hiatus from during COVID, but returned last summer, in which families with school-age children who, as you are aware, in summer don't have access to some of the free breakfast and free lunch programs. So we offer a little extra food, especially kid-friendly food. And these slides show how we set up the food pantry as a little store so people can choose the food that they would like for their kids. And we're also especially glad that we have grant funding that allows us to buy a lot of fresh produce, as you see in the top picture here. That's always one of the top requests we have from our care receivers. Next slide. August, I would like to highlight some of our community partners. You see here a group of young people as part of Mission Jersey, and part of their service they do is a meal packing event. And if you see the boxes behind them, they were rice and bean kits that they made and we were able to give out in our food pantry. They also made homemade bread, which is showed in the middle picture here on the bottom. Another partner I want to mention, and there's quite a few of those, but I'd like to mention Isles and the Farmers Market of Trenton, who donate during season the produce that is left over at the end of the day. So at the end of the year, there's always a lot of tomatoes. So we're very happy to share those with our care receivers. And every year too, many churches and other community groups do donate backpacks so we can get excited about going back to school right after Labor Day. Next slide. September, yes, we start with Labor Day. We like to celebrate with some special grilling food, as you see in this slide. We have some red peppers with one of our volunteers and a care receiver. Just like to point out once again, our care receiver, our volunteers are really important in the day-to-day operation of the food pantry, and here we were assisting with the produce. We also have our annual open house, and we will be having that this year on September 7th, so we hope you think about joining us for that. Next slide. October is always about our gala. We honor some wonderful volunteers who have really made a difference in how Mount Carmel Guild is able to fulfill its mission. We're gearing up for the one in this October already. It's a really, I know people don't believe this, a really fun night. So I hope you'll think about coming and joining us this year if you haven't before. And another part of it, that if you don't want to come to the event in person, is participating in our raffle in that little circle picture. We're doing the last hour sales of our restaurant raffle, and more information is going to be available on our website soon. November is about our largest community event of the year, Thanksgiving. This is huge for us. Last year, I think we helped 852 families help celebrate this wonderful and special holiday. Our community partners include Pennington Quality Market, where you can buy a bag of all the side fixings you would need, like cornbread stuffing and gravy. We were able to purchase hundreds of turkeys, as well as receive donations of hundreds of turkeys. And one special thing we do is ask that our care receivers share their celebrations with us, because we never get to see the next step, and a few of them do. And so it really makes us happy to see a family enjoying this meal that so many people worked to provide the ingredients for. December is about celebrating Christmas. We have a toy shop where we start registering families actually in October to come and select the gifts that they would like to give their children. And so many communities and churches help us make that possible. We become a little toy store. It's really kind of crazy here that we have a toy store that everyone can shop at. But Christmas isn't just about kids. And we were very fortunate this last Christmas to receive some wonderful donations that help us start kind of a new project called a Christmas Countdown, where we have gifts for the grown-ups that come to our food pantry. We had some donations of some cuddly throw blankets last year. We had donations of produce from the Notre Dame High School Alumni Club. So you see a photo of that in there. We have wonderful volunteers that come and help. I think we had toiletry bags and opportunities then for those that weren't able to sign up for toys, come on the last day and select a couple extra gifts. So Summer is a really fun time at the Guild, and it's really a joyful time and a great way to give. Start January, it's a little cold, but hey, we keep going through those annual Super Bowl drives. I mean, those are really popular and bring us some much needed yummy food for the food pantry. We're also grateful to the many people who give us items like hats and scarves and gloves. There's a lot of knitting groups around here, and we are very grateful to be able to share those with our care receivers. I think on the bottom left here, we had a fun day. And we had some craft kits then we were able to share in early January when the kids were still home on Christmas break. Next slide. February. You may have noticed that we like to celebrate holidays here. We do the big ones like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we like to do the smaller ones too. And Valentine's Day is one of the special ones when anyone who comes on that day receives a special Valentine, a chocolate bar. Next slide. Lots of things happening on this one. In March, we have our annual Founders Day Mass this last year, and we held it at the St. George Parish in Titusville. We're very grateful that they hosted us. I will let you know that next year it is going to be at Sacred Heart Parish on March 10th. We started having a new refreshed newsletter in March. The Guild Gazette. So if you haven't been receiving that, please go on our website and sign up, and it comes out every month. I have on the left here green peppers. It was a natural choice for celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and also the natural choice for our monthly nutrition message and produce item. So green peppers for St. Patrick's Day, have fun. We also had little candy treats. And then on the right, I just wanted to point out that we had a lovely meeting with one of our partners, Interfaith Care Receivers of Greater Mercer County. There are so many people that help the Guild that I just wanted to highlight that we do work with partner organization nonprofits like Interfaith Care Receivers, Catholic Charities, and other groups. Next slide. April, Easter. So again, another holiday with so many people helping making baskets for us. This year it was really thoughtful that one group brought us a selection of Easter baskets. They're the ones in the circle here that didn't have any peanuts in it, in case anybody had any food sensitivities or allergies that we needed to be aware of. It was a great day, and we were so excited that we had enough Easter baskets to give it to all the families that signed up for it, and to have enough leftovers on the last day before we closed for the Easter to give out over 100 to those that had family or little ones they knew that came to the food pantry, were able just to receive a couple baskets. In the middle of it, someone from St. Anne's came and brought us 50 more, so it was a fun time. May, we like to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. That's a festive one for us, and you'll see that in the round circle picture here. We're able to do that through one of our biggest supporters, which of course is Mercer Street Food Bank. They give us and coordinate the food that comes from federal and state programs, and also excellent partners to us, always willing to help us if we ever have an extra need for food. They were able to give us hamburgers, which allowed us then to buy taco kits and add some cheese and have some black beans to celebrate this fun holiday on May 5th. Just recently, we had our kickoff for our 2023 gala. It begins with a special dinner to acknowledge all the contributions our volunteers made that we are honoring that year, and do a video of what's been happening. So you'll see that middle picture. It was pretty windy out last week. But also this March, because it is Older Individuals Older Individuals Month awareness, we were able to launch a campaign to highlight our home health nursing program. Our home health nursing program is available to seniors age 60 and older, low income, throughout Mercer County. We want to get that news out to more people, to the older people, to their caregivers, to their family members who might find this program very beneficial to help their loved one, again, age in place. There are billboards located throughout the community. There's Darren pointing to ours that is located on Pennington Road and Olden Avenue intersection. And there's another one out there on Stockton Road, right by the entry to Highway 1. And a few more will be coming over the next month. think that's it because we haven't got to June yet. But I do want to talk about the way forward and mention a couple upcoming things. Community Mission Tour is our way to let other people know about the work and mission in Mount Carmel Guild and our two very important programs of community support and home health nursing. So if you know of a group or organization that would like us to come and make a presentation, please reach out. We'll be happy to schedule that. Just last month, no, just like 2 weeks ago, we were able to go to a fundraiser for the Triani Foundation, which is a new nonprofit, and participate in their very large fun festival celebration. So keep us in mind. Our gala is again going to be in October 2023. Over the next week and months, you're going to start to see social media and other postings about our wonderful honorees. We have individuals, we have a couple, we have a group, and we have the family this year. So many different people come and help us make our work possible. It's a real joy to honor how they help us. And thirdly, the next thing is open house. I mean, I know we're doing this virtually today, but if you're around, please come visit us on September 7th, 1 to 3. Next slide. Good. I think it's my end one to thank you all for listening and hearing about the impact we have made over the last year. I'm trying to see what. Oh.
Well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary. Absolutely. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to, the chat is open, so feel free to leave your comments. We're going to be taking questions at the end of today's proceedings. But of course, we would love to have at this time on the program, we're going to be having a keynote address from Mayor Gosiora. And of course, Mary, you're still on the floor. We're going to be asking Mary to move right ahead into the introduction. And so after that, the next voice we'll hear is that of our mayor. Over to you, Mary.
Right. Thank you, Darren. We are very honored to have Ree Gosiora, the mayor of Trenton, joining us today. This is the first time we've ever had a keynote address, so we're very anxious and excited to hear what you have to share with us. Mayor Gosiora became mayor in 2018 in July. He also, prior to that, had 22 years in the New Jersey State Assembly. He's had many achievements and accomplishments in his political career. I'm not going to be able to mention them all, I apologize, but there are a few that really connected to the Mount Carmel Guild's mission, so I want to share those with everyone coming today. The first was when he was in the Assembly, and he passed the Senior Gold Prescription Discount Act, which expanded the state's prescription drug program for seniors. So key, you know, our seniors need their medication so they can be healthy and, of course, age in place at their home safely. As mayor, he has, of course, promoted consistently economic development for Trenton and advocates for new housing in our capital city. I will share that the mayor surprised us in Mayor when he came and knocked on our door. This is part of one of his projects, was to rehabilitate a building in our neighborhood exactly across the street, and RFP was coming out, and he asked if his photographer could climb to the 3rd floor of our father Jim's house and take a picture, but he did. We were very happy, and unfortunately the mayor and his staff members had a little extra time to have a tour and reconnect with us about what's going on at Mount Carmel Guild. And just like a week after that, we needed to ask the mayor for a letter of support, which he graciously provided us for our community project funding. This is a program through Representative Bonnie Watson-Coleman, and we're still in the process. Keep your fingers crossed. She has recommended us for some funding to do some much needed upgrades in our quite old buildings that we have here. So without further ado, I'm going to let Mayor Gosiora share his words with us.
Well, thanks so much. And am I on? Can everybody hear me? Oh, okay, great.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Mary, and thank you much, Darren, for your invitation to join you today at the Mission Members meeting. And it was an enjoyable experience coming to tour the facility and see how we could further partner down the line. So this is, I look at this as a beginning of a great friendship and partnership that we hope to continue over the next few years. There are reasons to be excited about a renaissance happening in the capital city, and Mount Carmel Guild will very much be part of it. However, this year and just in the past 4 years, and for nearly a century before that, the Mount Carmel Guild has been in the front and center as a critical institution, providing services that have allowed families to make ends meet in the capital city. You've helped keep families stay afloat. You've shown us the way forward. And as you celebrate a centennial this decade, you're reminding Trenton youth of what prior generations have learned, that there are wonderful people, wonderful mentors who would like them to achieve their dreams and grow up and prosper in our city. And there's a critical need in Trenton where 22.6% of families live in poverty, where median household income is $39,718. And with our population of over 90,000, there is much to be done. And that's why it's so critical to have these partnerships. When Monsignor Thomas Walsh purchased the beautiful Italianate structure on North Clinton Avenue to serve as the headquarters for Mount Carmel Guild in the city of Trenton, he created a community institution promoting corporal works of mercy and helping to transform lives of those within our city. From the home health nursing to the community support program, you have made a critical difference in the capital city, which does not go unnoticed by this city's administration. Your donations have helped run a food pantry that serves between 1,000 and 1,400 households each month, feeding over 44,000 individuals and providing special items so that every family can celebrate holidays without worrying about how they can afford a holiday dinner. You've been working hard to prevent evictions and utility shutoffs. You've maintained the Summer Feeding Families Project to assist over 120 families with kid-friendly foods during school recess. Your nurses have provided 551 units of care to 34 patients and coordinating care for needy patients, which can prove impossible for seniors and patients alike. What a beautiful difference the Mount Carmel Guild continues to make in providing low-income seniors with critical health care services. When a nurse visits a low-income senior, they show through their actions that seniors are not forgotten in this city, that they are cared for, and that they are loved by their community. I've spoken with so many seniors who've shared that the visit alone has made such a difference and in the quality of their lives. You've all prioritized making a greater impact over increasing your own incomes. Your generosity makes a real difference on a scale that is almost impossible to imagine until you see the families in line for meals or when you see patients whose lives have been so positively impacted by the services of Mount Carmel Guild. The need for support is so great in Trenton, but your work is helping to meet that end. I was pleased to meet with Mary and Darren in mid-April of this year for a tour and a wonderful conversation on North Clinton Avenue. I'm so impressed by the efficiency and the difference that the Mount Carmel Guild has made and continues to make in this capital city. At this critical point in our city's history, Mount Carmel Guild is helping to lift individuals out of poverty, to promote better health outcomes among our most vulnerable residents, and is shining a light on the importance of community and charity in the revitalization of our city of Trenton. I'm proud to be partners with you in moving this city forward. I know that together we can continue to make a difference in the lives of Trentonians. I'd like to close by thanking the incredible social workers, caseworkers, nurses, and staff that help to feed the hungry and help our senior citizens who are in need and vulnerable. And lastly, for over 750 members of the Mount Carmel Guild, I'd like to say as mayor of Trenton that I am proud and honored to have joined you all today. You're heroes. You're there for our community, and you're helping us all move forward. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for all that you do and will continue to do in our future. God bless.
And God bless you too, Mayor Gosiura. Thank you so very much for your stewardship, for your leadership for the city of Trenton. We here at Mount Carmel Guild, certainly, I'm sure I speak on behalf of the executive director and all members of the team when we say that we will continue to do our very best to ensure that we are a part of that multi-sectoral approach that is required to ensure that our city continues to do well. It requires all of us working together. And of course, our brothers and sisters who are in need in so many ways, it is good when it is that you have organizations such as ours who are willing to band together. And that is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, this mission members meeting. There are a number of us as mission members at Mount Carmel Guild. And over the next several months and years, it will be important for us to engage more with each other, for us to participate more, for us to give of our expertise. And there's so much that we have right across the board that we need to be utilizing so much more as we continue to serve our brothers and sisters. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be sharing with you some reports. I'm not sure if we want to call them reports, but they're essentially an overview from or two major programs, one of them being the home health nursing. And now Corinne, who is unfortunately unable to be with us this afternoon, has pre-recorded a video, which we'll be sharing now to give you some more insight on the work that this particular program achieves on behalf of the people that we serve.
I'm the nursing director at Mount Carmel Guild, and I've worked there for the past 15 years. I have a background of working in home care for the past 30 years, and I love what I do. I'm responsible for screening all referrals that family members, I see a need for our services in the community.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. I was just made to understand that there is no sound. If you are or were unable to hear it, we apologize. We're going to be starting again, and this time, hopefully with the sound. One moment.
As a society, as a home care nurse, I can see that there's a lot of times there's family that are not involved, that may live close by, or even families that don't live. is Corinne Janoska. I'm the nursing director at Mount Carmel Guild, and I've worked there for the past 15 years. I have a background of working in home care for the past 30 years, and I love what I do. I'm responsible for screening all referrals that come in and determining eligibility for the program and reaching out to each referral and discussing their needs regarding the nursing program and how we can best help them. And I'm also responsible for supervising our part-time registered nurse. The Mount Carmel Guild Home Health Nursing Program began in 1941. Today we visit senior citizens in Mercer County, and we provide services such as medication management. We give injections, we test blood sugar, we do some wound care, and this is all to help senior citizens stay in their home without going into nursing homes or any long-term care facilities. The nursing program has really impacted senior citizens in that they're allowed to remain at home independently by the services that we provide to them. Many do not want to go into nursing homes and long-term care facilities, and with our services, they're able to live independently at home. There's a lovely couple that we service. They want to live independently at home. They're homebound. They're very elderly, and we go in there to provide medication management. We go in weekly to fill their pill boxes. And we also go to the pharmacy to pick up their prescriptions since they're not able to do that. But they also don't have any family in the area. So they are so dependent on us weekly to come that they'll call just to remind us or to let us know that they're waiting for us to come. So you can see how they depend on us to come weekly to see them, and they enjoy our visit and the company that we provide. My goal is to expand the program. Due to the number of referrals that I get daily from caseworkers and family members, I see a need for our services in the community. So my hope is that we'll be able to expand the program, have more patients that we visit, and in turn have enough nurses to go and visit these patients in their home. I think there's more we can do for the elderly as a society. As a home care nurse, I can see that there's a lot of times there's family that are not involved that may live close by, or even families that don't live close by and really depend on our services. I also see a need for people, elderly who want to live independently. I see a need for home health aid services, which are important since they need help with personal care, which a lot of them are not receiving. Some of the challenges that I see for our program are a lot of referrals we receive from caseworkers. And when I go to reach out to the senior citizen that they have referred to me, they want to maintain their independence, and they'll often refuse our services even though the caseworker feels there's a need for us to be involved. So that's a challenge. But I must say that once we do go and do our initial visit, that they're happy to see us, and they look forward to our visits weekly. Mount Carmel Guild remains committed to providing the best standard of care to our senior citizens in Mercer County. In 2019, we became accredited by the National Institute of Home Care Accreditation, which allows us to maintain the highest standards of care to our senior citizens. For more information on the Mount Carmel Guild Home Health Nursing Program, you can visit our website at www.mtcarmelguild.org. And if you'd like to make a referral to the nursing program, you can contact me directly at 609-392-5159, extension 113.
I was 19 when I got married, and he was 20. And we've been married ever since. It's 69 years. It'll be 70 years this November.
I was an architect. I enjoyed doing a house or something for youngsters. They're just married, didn't have any money, but they had big hope.
We lived here for 61 years.
I built the house myself with help. I had friends and neighbors and so forth.
We love it. We don't want to go to any other place because we love it here. When he came out of rehabilitation and had to take 28 pills a day, I was having a hard time putting them together, getting the pills together. And I told my doctor. He got in touch with Mount Carmel and they sent Gina to us, and it was like a miracle happened because Gina did everything. I mean, she put all the pills in little packets. I didn't have to count them anymore. I didn't have to figure out what was what. And besides that, she was so nice about everything. We'd be lost without her.
They are sophisticated nurses. They know what they're doing. They know how to go about getting things. They're making sure that you have what you need. The druggist, they don't want to, they want you to come pick it up. How the hell are you supposed to come pick it up? You have no car, you sold your car, you can't drive, you can't see. You need somebody, a druggist, that is willing to help you. They found us one.
No matter what the medicine is that he needs, I don't have to worry because Gina from Carmel takes care of all that for us. Mount Carmel Guild helps us to keep our independence.
It makes us feel like we're still alive.
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. The testimonial, the presentation, the work continues. And of course, through our home health nursing program and your own efforts as mission members, we are able to do what we do. I'm going to be handing over now to Richard Ferreira, who you would have heard is our director of the community support program. He'll be coming at this time with his presentation. And if you will make him welcome, I'm not seeing anyone using the reaction signs. We can do our thumbs up like I'm doing now, among other things. Please feel free to do that. All right, over to you, Richard. I'm bringing up your presentation right now. One moment. All right. There you go. Richard, over to you. I'm not sure if you're muted.
Darren, thank you so much. And I am not muted, but I don't see the screen up, but I do have mine. So if you guys can see it, thumbs up if you can. Great. Again, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for all your time and effort to joining us in this wonderful mission membership meeting. My name is Deacon Richard Ferreira. I am the program director for the community support program, and it has been echoed throughout this whole wonderful session. For 103 years, Mount Carmel Guild has been feeding the hungry and the poor, and it continues to be one of the staple services that we are asked for here in our community. And we also provide other services. I will highlight them quickly. Next slide, please. So again, as you see in many of the videos that were wonderfully put together, we have pre-made bags of food that we distribute throughout the community. And on average, we serve about 67 households a day. And for an average month, we serve about 1,340 households. And if you look at the adults and children that we serve, that equates to close to 2,700 individuals and families that we serve. We talked about our special initiative programs. The Fruit and Vegetable of the Month allows us to provide access to fresh produce for families. And we like to give them a little a health benefit education sheet along with the highlighted fruit or vegetable of the month. This coming month, June, we're going to be highlighting strawberries. So everyone's super excited about that. We have lovely collaborative efforts with other entities to provide health education throughout the community. That's a staple for us here at the Guild. And we also have our holiday gifts for families and children's, just like that was seen earlier in the slides, the Easter baskets, the back to school book bags, Thanksgiving baskets, Christmas gifts for children, and so on. Next slide. So we also have preventive services, and these are short-term financial assistance that we provide individuals and families to prevent homelessness. It's a small award of up to $500 max that we award those individuals. And again, what we try to do here is really prevent any family individual from being homeless. We also work collaboratively with other organizations. When we have an individual that has a very high amount of arrears that they are struggling with, and we partner with other service providers to see if we collectively pool monies together to prevent homelessness. And just for a highlight for the year of 2022, we received over $34,000, and with that, we were able to provide 49 households with some background assistance and or utility assistance. Next slide. We also like to talk about our wonderful senior program that we have. It's a program for individuals who are 60 years and older who are Mercer County residents. They are able to receive an additional once a month food bags that are nutritionally balanced with dry goods and proteins. We are currently looking to enroll more people into our program. So if you know of any seniors in Mercer County who are interested, please have them call our agency or come by the food pantry, and we can start that application for them. Next slide. So future initiatives that we like to look at, right before COVID hit, we had just started embarking on a new program, which was an open choice program, which where individuals and families were able to shop for the foods that they feel meet their nutritional needs in their households. And then COVID came and we had to revert back to what's called the pre-made food bags. But what we plan to do moving forward is to at least restart sort of that open choice initiative with possibly 1 or 2 products that we get an abundance of, and have our individuals and families who attend our food pantry to select that. And again, we continue to invite local providers to our site so we can partner with them to give information on other services available for them in the community, specifically around health and nutrition. And we look to, number one, build our recognition within our community, as we always have, and also just increase our referrals to other organizations. And lastly, we like to continue applying for additional funding to meet and enhance the growth of our social services. We are in the cusp of doing that as we speak, and looking forward to more future projects and programs here at the Guild to help the needs of our individuals and families. And now I would like to share with you a mission moment that we had here at the Guild. I had an individual come to the site one day. It was a gentleman. He brought another gentleman to the food pantry. And what we've been experiencing in our community, a high number of migrants coming in. And this is a Spanish-speaking individual. And he came in, and the gentleman that brought him in had told me,
I'm
hey,
so
he
sorry,
just
Richard.
got here
We seem to have lost you. Your audio, we seem to have lost you, Richard.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello? You can't hear me. Mary says yes. That's good. Okay, so really quickly, the individual came in with another individual, and he brings him in. He said he just got to the community, and he was looking for food. So we enrolled him into our program, and then I looked at the individual and I asked him, oh, by the way, are you here as well for food pantry services? And he said, no, I had already come this week. So just the character that one individual to, number one, be honest with services he received here. And just the fact that he brought another individual to our table shows the worth of our work that we're doing here at the Guild, which is truly amazing and blessed. And again, a lot of the work that we do here at the Guild would not be possible without our volunteers. And with that being said, I'd like, Darren, if possible, if you could play this very brief video of a wonderful volunteer. Her name is Favor Bush.
My experience at Mount Carmel Guild as a volunteer has been amazing. I love the fact that the workers here have such passion for the people of Trenton, and I love to learn, and I learn a lot from here, from just talking to everybody, and I love the fact that I'm able to be a blessing in people's life and help those who are helpless. I started volunteering at Mount Carmel Guild in 2022 and left in the summer, and I helped with the food pantry and a toy drive in December. I'm a citizen of Trenton, and every day I see people going through various challenges like hunger, like violence, or just being helpless in like housing. And what I see in Malcolm Gill is always providing the help to their needs. So I like to see is more young people being more involved in the work of Malcolm McGill. And the way that it benefited me is being more manageable with my time and also seeing the point of view of those who's less fortunate. Thank you, Malcolm McGill, for all the work you have done in our community, and I also have been blessed by the work you have done in our lives.
Yay, favor. And also, again, thank you so much, all of our wonderful volunteers that make us meet the mission of Mount Carmel Guild. Thank y'all so much. God bless.
And thank you so very much, Richard. And to all of you for your own involvement and participation in the work that we do at the Guild. Of course, this meeting is about you as our mission members, or volunteers, or board members, those who come by to drop things off, or care receivers. We just received a small package this morning from such a person. And there are very many people who continue to give in whatever way they can to support the work of the Guild, and by extension, the people who we serve. It's really all about you. And of course, we want to hear from you. And so at this time, I'm going to be opening up the floor for any questions, any concerns that you may have, any recommendations that you may need to make, or as a Guild mission member. The floor is open to you. Open your microphones. Let us see your faces. Open your screens as well. And ask your questions. We still have with us our executive director. Of course, you would have heard from Richard earlier. I'm here as well. Any questions, concerns that you may have? Over to you. All right, don't all shout at once. Rich, Mary, I see your hand is raised. I'm thinking that was probably done earlier today.
Yeah, I'm still learning these gesture things, I guess. I don't know what they are.
Right.
Right, but I do know, looking at our audience today and the members that overcame, a lot of them are really long-time supporters with us. So maybe they'll share some things with us privately on their next visit. I don't know. But this has been a really interesting, informative meeting. I thank Darren. Obviously, this year we've added a lot more videos. We're still learning some of the tech, so bear with us. We are a small organization, and I think this short meeting has shown what a big impact we can make. So thank you, Darren, for putting all of this together for us. I don't see any questions, so I think we will close.
Actually,
there's one. Sorry.
Okay, no, so sorry. I saw Brenda's screen opening, and I thought she was about to proceed with a question. But is that so, Brenda? Yes or no? No. Okay.
No. Okay.
All right. So
Right.
I think we're all in the clear, Mary.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So we just want to thank again everyone for being with us today. We really appreciated you coming and being able to share the impact we are together making. I hope that you will then help us with the way forward. Many of you are already involved as donors, mission members, volunteers, organizers of food drives and all that. And you follow us on social media and like and share what you see and receive our newsletter. But another important way forward for us is for you to be our ambassadors. I know many of you are, so please keep sharing about what Mount Carmel Guild is doing to make Trenton and Greater Mercer County a better, a healthier place for those in need. Thank you again. Hope to see you soon. Our open house is coming up on September 7th, 1 to 3. Please come.